I am resident of color for YouTube. Jules says that is E.D. Lewis. We are here, as you're going to hear my dog now. We're here to talk to the werewolf storyline. Um, what did you think of, first of all, because there's so many things to get into, the appearance of Quentin's ghost, Don Briscoe as because he's sort of, though we do have a stunt man, he's going to be the one who transforms into the werewolf. And he's going to be the descendant of Quentin eventually. So I'll start it here. What did you think initially of Quentin's ghost?
Uh, Very creepy. Very different from the other ghosts that we'd seen prior, such as like Sarah and Trask and all them. But definitely creepy, and great a great new addition to the show.
Mhm. He was. What's really weird is like his Josette's ghost. I always found this weird when you meet Catherine Lee Scott's Josette. It's very much like the ghost in a sense. She's very quiet, but when she talks, it matters, and when she speaks, it matters. Sarah, you could sort of see her ghost in her living persona when you meet her in 1795. You can see the vengeful ghost of Trask. I mean, you can see how vengeful Trask was, right? But not David Selby's Quentin Collins. He's this silent ghost. He's very menacing, like you're saying. And when you meet the man, he's flamboyant. He's charismatic. It's like, who is this dude?
Yeah.
Like, is this the same guy? I mean, what are we witnessing here? But yeah. What did you think of that? Because that was so different from the ghost we were seeing.
Uh, yeah, it was definitely different. It left me really wondering, though I had seen some of the interviews prior to when he started speaking, what exactly he was going to sound like.
Mhm.
Which I feel like probably the audience was probably kind of wondering that too once they knew they were eventually going to go back in time. Um, yeah, I think that was kind of my main thing. I besides wondering where this was all gonna, connect with the Chris Jennings plotline.
Because you weren't, yeah, they didn't really reveal how it was going to connect right away, obviously.
Mm.
Speaking of Chris James, Don Briscoe, I got to give him credit because before he plays Chris, he plays Tom Jennings, a vampire. And they actually do this little comicry trick where he's Chris and Tom, which is really cool as hell. Uh, what did you think of Don Briscoe as both Tom and Chris?
Um, it definitely showed his range because the two
Yes.
characters are very different. Um, Immediately it makes me think of though that dream sequence though that Joe has where he mistakes Tom for Chris though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought Don was excellent in both roles, and even in his later roles. It's a shame he didn't get to stick on the show, um, but yeah, I thought he was excellent addition to the show.
I like how when you watch House of Dark Shadows, he's like David Hennessy's trying to sneak past him, and he's got his hand like this. You know the scene. I mean, it's like, is Don Briscoe doing that just to mess around? He knows that because he knows David Hennessy's near him, But that's
Hmm.
funny in that movie. Uh, I'll try to stay on topic, I swear, because I tend not to. But here, in this is all going to lead our buddy Barnabas
Hmm.
back to back to 1897 because his body is there. So he's going to send his astral body, his spirit, to his body in 1897 using the I Ching wands because the children are possessed. Surprise, surprise, an evil entity took over David, once upon a time the most evil child ever, uh, who I secretly think is the inspiration for Michael Audrey Myers. From no, I'm joking, I'm joking. but but No, John Carpenter got his inspiration from a guy from a mental patient in Kentucky. So I apologize for the
I can
the-
see it though a little bit though
yeah, yeah, right,
with
right.
early David. Yeah.
Yeah, David was an evil kid. So the children, him and Amy are possessed, which is Amy is Chris's sister for those who don't know. And Barnabas is going back. He's gonna find out. Okay, how was this guy Quentin? Who is he? Like, what's the deal here? And well, he gets back here. I gotta say, Ed man, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what Def's numbers were before Barnabas showed up there. I really don't. But once
Mm,
our buddy Barnabas shows up, business was booming because bodies started dropping left and right. Um, I will say, because in all seriousness, the one thing we learned about Quentin before he ever turns into a werewolf is he was married to Jenny, crazy Jenny,
mm.
who was locked in a tower room. We're going to learn he has two kids, and Jen, Quentin's music drives her crazy because it Quentin drove her crazy. Quentin is a womanizer. What did you? Because they add so many things, so many elements to this character. This is not quite Barnabas, obviously. This is not.
Mm.
Well, what did you think of that?
Well, definitely stark contrast to Barnabas. Not that he
Yeah,
didn't have a little bit there, with the whole Angelique and
yeah.
but yeah, I mean he was such a scoundrel and stuff, Quentin, but he was at the same time so charming and stuff. You kind of fall under his spell, but he's absolute I'm trying to say it nicely, horrible person. Some choice words could come to mind, but yeah.
There's a dialogue in this 1897 where Charity Trask and David Selby's Quentin Collins are having a scene together in the great house. They're near the foyer. They're just like outside the kitchen, you go into the kitchen, and Quentin's gonna go into town, and Charity's like, "You're gonna go into town and see one of your sluts," and I'm like, "That's exactly it too." That this, you know, James Bond had a lot of women, but I dare say Quentin may have had more. Um, I mean, he that's sort of what the werewolf represents too. Here's
Mm,
this party playboy almost. He's not wealthy in the sense because the money he doesn't necessarily have his own money. He's allowed to live under Collinwood because of the will that
yeah.
gets shifted around, if you will. But what did you think of this the werewolf curse being put on him? Because he kills Jenny, he kills the woman that was his wife, mother of his children, and obviously Magda, her sister, places a curse on him, the curse of the werewolf.
Completely justifiable. I mean, and he didn't even know, her parentage. He didn't know her history and stuff. There's even that scene when Magda reveals it to him, and he's like, she's grilling him, and like, okay, well, where was she born? Where did she grow up, and about her family? And he's like, I don't know anything about her family. She grew up in this village and somewhere in New York, and she's like, many villages, and it's utter revenge. And then when he ends Jenny, it's horrible.
They had, I mean, because Beth, who is in charge of Jenny before she gets ultimately gets disposed of, if you will,
Mhm.
gets killed by Quentin, she also has an attraction to Quentin too.
Mm.
The, there's a theme in 1897. Most of the women you see end up falling in love with Quentin. This is not an exaggeration either. A woman who is literally brought to life by a painter falls in love with Quentin. So do you think the writers like, okay, we gotta make this guy very flammable because David Selby is he speaking as a married man, he's a handsome dude. I mean,
Yeah.
straight up, I could see why the women are falling for this charming, tall, 6'3" West Virginia man who's playing a bit of a he manhandles the women a bit, but he's not completely manhandled.
Yeah.
You know, he's very charming. He knows how to talk to the women. Beth especially. Judith and Edward, his sister and his brother, they kind of tolerate him to a degree, more or less Edward. um, so what? But yeah, that's another question. What did you think of? My God, Magda Rakosi.
Loved her.
Yes.
Love her. Every scene with Grayson playing Magda is perfection. I wish that actually we'd had more Magda because I know later on, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the 1897 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been a long time since I watched them. Uh, Later on, how we just don't see Magda at all. And I think the last time we hear of her is when Julia is hearing voices from the past. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I really wish we had more of Magda, especially after the King Johnny thing.
Yes, and for those who don't know, the reason Julia is hearing them is because Julia herself goes back into 1897. Her Astro self goes back because she doesn't have a body to go back to like bottom stuff. If something happens here, my cat's right here. She's crazy. So does some more to me because I don't know what my animals will do. Um, Especially this one here. But yeah, you're absolutely right. She is wonderful. My God, Grayson Hall, from playing a doctor, Dr. Julia Hoffman, to Countess Natalie Dupre, it's like,
Mm,
and how many more great characters can they create with one actress? And bam, Magda Rakosi is born, and the accent, the range she shows in this,
mm.
completely. When we sit here and say the Dark Shadows actors really play different characters so well. It's not an exaggeration.
No, it's not.
I mean, very, very well done. I really do too. Thayer David's transition from Sandor to Patovi, you know,
Yeah.
and I think my buddy Patrick McRae has put it that the person who chose the way Patovi looked was Thayer David himself,
Hmm.
which I could believe.
That's interesting.
I could believe. That's what's been told to me. So I what did you think of that? Because before we get the arrival of Victor Van Givens, Count Andreas Patofi, we get the discussion of the hand of Andreas Patofi and the whole gypsy, that there's some sort of beef between this guy and the gypsies. That he was this powerful mage who with this powerful hand, and it's like, wait a second, are we villain? Are they building a super villain here? What did you think of that?
That one I was really curious about because I was like, okay, what's the deal with this hand? I'd heard some stuff about it from like the Dark Shadows companion a couple years before I'd seen these episodes, and I only had heard that it was something like a monkey's paw, but that was about it. And so I was like, are we gonna see this character show up? Is there gonna be like some sort of flashback? What is this? And then when he shows up, before we even know for sure that it's him, I was like, is this the guy? Is
Yeah,
this our what is this gonna do for for the show? What is this gonna do for the characters? What are they gonna have to deal with now?
right. Because when he shows up, he doesn't say, "I'm Count Patofe," right? He
Mm,
just, "I'm Victor Ben Givens," and we know that this guy Aristide is working for him, and it's like because Aristide entered Evan Hanley's place with a knife with the dancing lady. See, I remembered. I remembered. I'm not
I
completely
don't
forget.
remember that part because I it's been a while, but
I'm not completely forgetful. I promise. Um, Sometimes I am. So, but yeah, he. We learned that Victor Ben Givens and Aristide are at least working together, but we didn't know at that time that he was Count Patofi. What did you think of that? Him assuming a different identity? first.
Clever.
Yep.
I thought it was very clever. It was a nice way to get him in there and getting, that in disguise.
Hmm. Yep, absolutely. And it kind of this here, and I was told that the writers weren't reading comics, they weren't reading like any kind of stories in a sense, but with Victor McGivens, it kind of reminds me of The Shadow a bit, where the
Hmm.
shadow could take any form, he could take any name and look like the person. Now, I'm not saying they exactly do that with Patofe here, but there is going to be a nod to the shadow with Amanda Tate, Amanda Harris, sorry, said Tate, but Amanda Harris, which I'll get into here in a moment. But so this guy does eventually get revealed as Count Andres Quatofe, and the reason he gets revealed is the murder of Julianka. The prophecy
Hmm.
doesn't completely come true, but it somewhat comes true. We have at least, well, all three events happen, but Quentin isn't murdered. Patofe prevents it. So yes, the three prophecies happen. Julianka is murdered. By the way, best short-lived character, Julianka. What do you think?
I would have liked to have seen more of her. She
Yes.
was definitely kind of formidable in her short bit, and then when she got quickly turned kind of to an ally, then we just lose her.
What what did you think of the werewolf in prior to 1897? We see the werewolf jumping through literally through the glass of the blue whale ball. Yeah.
Um, I mean, I think it was more Wolfman
Yes.
than the Clinton bit, especially because I was thinking about this earlier actually was how Chris would see the pentagram on
Hmm.
his victim's his future victim's face, but where I'm at the hand has just now shown up. I haven't noticed Quentin getting any of that, and I don't remember if it happens before the painting
Yeah.
with anybody.
I do know like he Quentin does see the pentagram on somebody's face. I forget
Okay.
whose. But see, I did misremember something. Um, it's okay to I laugh at myself all the time. Um, and that's the thing too. Like I remember the pentagram showing up on somebody's face. By the way, the stunt man did an amazing job as the
Mhm.
werewolf. Anytime I think of the werewolf, I think of the Ultimate Warrior scene. He shows up, he wrecks shit, and he leaves. I really do, Ed. I really do. What do you think?
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And the snowman, yeah, I can't remember his name, but he's absolutely excellent. And
Hmm.
I think he was also the one that played Madam Finley when she came down the stairs too.
Yep. Yep. Hmm.
So yeah, he was Alex something or other.
Stevens, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. I remember the last name. So I remember the last name. But yeah, he was actually he's on an episode of What's My Line as the Wolfman, as the werewolf from Dark
Okay.
Shadows. If I find the video, I'll send it to you on Instagram.
Okay.
But yeah, he's on there because Jonathan Frid appears on there as well. But he's also on there because again, he's a stunt man, and you're right, he does the stunt for Madam Finley. So he does. Stuntmen are basically jacks of all trade. They know what they're doing. They know how to not get themselves hurt, at least for the most part. A lot of stuntmen play serial killers. Obviously, Dick Warlock played Michael Myers. Nick Castle wasn't necessarily a stuntman. He did Michael's movements for Halloween, for The Walking, for the original Halloween.
Hmm.
Um, if you have a Halloween question, I'll answer it. I swear. But um, with Dark Shadows, you have a because there's a stunt where he jumps off of the soundstage, off of this rock, and he lands. And this is where you see Patofe sort of subdue the werewolf. So you knew they're kind of leaning. There's a connection here between Patofe and the werewolf. That was amazing to me. What did you think of that? Did you see that
I
part
kind of
yet? Or
forgot about it until you mentioned it, but
that's okay.
Yeah, I'm vaguely remembering the scene, and they kind of have a little bit of this kind of a standoff where they're
I
just kind of
bet.
staring at each other. And Patovi has, I seem to remember, he has that look of familiarity.
Yep. And Aristide is scared, like because I think
Mm.
Aristide's in the scene too, and
Imagine him being
we come
scared.
to see right. We come to see Quentin is tied up in the chair, and his face is fixed. He doesn't look like this mangled guy anymore that he was in
Mm.
prison. This little mangled face because he was a werewolf still. It's like, no, your face is fine, dude. Your face is fine. Evan Hanley's face, that was all when they did the hand of Patofe on Evan Hanley, and his face was all like crazy looking. That was creepy.
Yeah, that was horrific.
That was creepy. Like, um, now we also in 1897 we get a lot of things, man. We get vampire Dirk Wilkins, a very evil vampire, by the way.
Oh, he was crazy.
What did you think of Dirk?
He was okay. He almost seemed rather milquetoasty to me until the whole Laura thing and Barnabas putting the bite on him, and then he just goes nuts.
I always joke about this because to me it's a little bit funny. I was like, you want Laura, right? Laura, yeah, I want Laura. Wait in your coffin 100 years, and she'll be right back. Like 100 years, and she's coming right back, dude. I don't think he'd probably like my answer, but that would be my answer to him.
I mean, you'll be right.
uh,
That's what Barnabas should have said. But
by the way, Dana Malay, very beautiful. They're very beautiful women on Dark Shadows. Um, because again, this is her second outing as the Phoenix. What what did you think of them adding the Phoenix to the 1897 storyline?
that was actually um that was really my main introduction to it because at the
Oh,
time when I saw these episodes, I hadn't seen the beginning. I'd only seen that little intro episode that lightly touched on it. So that was something different for me. I thought it was kind of cool, especially when she and Angelique go head to head with each other.
yeah.
And then the whole connection to Barnabas from when uh, he reveals that she was married to Jeremiah, and just the implications right there of what does that mean?
This actually is nice because it explains exactly why Jeremiah did not want to marry Millicent and get married ever again. It's like, okay, that makes sense. I can believe that because Jeremiah had no interest in getting married to anybody when
Mm-mm.
you met him at all. Joshua was trying to arrange more marriages than anybody in the entire state of Maine, but no, no, Jeremiah is having none of that. Who, by the way, who in your opinion is the worst TV dad ever
Uh,
from a character standpoint?
that's a good question.
I know it's random.
I'm not really sure.
I'm going to give you my answer. It's Joshua, um, and you know why too.
Granted.
You know why too. Though he kind of reforms by the end, but it's like,
Yeah, he
dude,
does.
there's been so much death. You better get a clue at this point. Like seriously. Uh, now I will say this: Lewis Edmonds as Edward Collins, the monster hunter, if you will, because he's hunting down the werewolves and vampires in this arc. What a unique change for him to be able to kind of play the hero a bit, right?
Hmm.
What did you think of that?
It was definitely different for him to, especially after playing Roger and playing um Joshua.
Yeah.
It was kind of refreshing in some ways because even Roger had like the early days of Roger
Mm-hmm.
was absolutely horrible, especially to Vicky
Mm-hmm.
and to David. But yeah, this was kind of refreshing seeing him as kind of the go-getter, and he's going after all the monsters. He's hunting Barnabas. He wants to know about this, the creature in the woods, and when they capture when they captured the werewolf and he's in jail, and
Hmm.
you're thinking, oh no, it's he's gonna find out it's his brother until finds out, oh, I don't know who this guy is because he's so disfigured.
Yeah, the writers do a really good job of hiding Quentin's identity, of being the werewolf. Like you're right, he's in prison. He doesn't look like Quentin. Though he's as tall as Quentin, but you
Hmm.
can't make out the face, obviously. So they do the right thing there. Barnabas ends up freeing him from prison, a jailbreak. And so what what really shocked me about 1897 is the literally the death of Quentin's son. Um, I think that's where they really made the characters sympathetic most of it because of all his women philandering around, turning into a werewolf wasn't bad enough. Hey, we're taking one of your kids, and from a fictional sense, it's like holy shit, right?
Hmm.
What did you think of that?
It was a nice way to get Quentin to turn around.
Yeah.
Tragic, but it was a nice way. It was almost like he comes into his maturity because
Yep.
he's very much spoiled rich boy who, uses the family money, does whatever he wants, and he's kind of he's kind of been given this chance to avoid his responsibility, and then it just all hits him when he loses his son.
One of the best unanswered questions I think being tossed around, and me and Alan were talking. Shout out to Alan Gallant. We were talking about this like, uh, I think we weren't recording at the time, but we were having this conversation of what the hell happened to Quentin's memory past 1897, right? Because he becomes Douglas Grant, like he doesn't remember being Quentin. Um, he he gets hit by Barnabas. Who the hell gave Barnabas a license? Somebody did. Uh, I don't think they gave him out of the Cracker Jack box. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that that's the weirdest one.
Hmm.
What did you think of them having? Because he comes back as Grant Douglas, no memory of Quentin, or what do you think happened there?
I don't know because I think when I was the first time watching it, I assumed that he probably knew who he was, and then when he got hit by the car, he got amnesia. But I don't
Yes,
know. I've heard that there's an audio drama. I haven't
there
listened to
is.
it though. That does touch on the Grant Douglas thing, but I have not listened to it, so I couldn't say. But I'm getting the implication that at some point he does get the amnesia before he comes to Collinsport again. So I'm not sure.
Mm. I have not heard the audio either, so but that is interesting. Um, so if you ever want your portrait painted and perhaps brought to life, you contact Charles Delaware Tate. What? So, so he goes from playing Dirk Wilkins to playing a painter who can bring. This is basically Dorian Gray, if you will.
Mhm.
We're going to do the Dorian Gray thing. What did you think of Charles Delaware Tate?
Quite a change from like Peter Bradford slash Jeff Clark and Dirk Wilkins. Um, I think I liked Tate better though than at least the Jeff Clark version of Peter Bradford and Dirk for sure.
I think they had a lot of potential, even with Tate as a future character.
Mm,
Really well written character. Really, to me, his I agree with you completely. His best character. I like I like Peter Bradford, and I like how he know like his sister knows Chris Jennings, but it's like okay, those are
oh
nice.
yeah, I forgot about Ned Stewart.
Yeah, Ned Stewart's okay, and Dirk Wilkins is okay, but this is really good because you like where are they taking this character, and then he creates any painting he paints comes to life, a vase, a
Mhm.
person. Speaking of a person, the lovely Amanda Harris, who yes falls in love with Quentin. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Uh, my name's Quentin. No, I'm joking. But my dog's gonna go if my wife's coming in. But yeah, What did you think of Amanda Harris?
Um, I think it was a cool idea with her, and I wish that we'd gotten more with her in the present day when she was Olivia Corey. And I did actually root for her, even though I like Beth and Quentin together. I kind of had to root for Amanda and Quentin at that point.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get my dog off the floor here so she wasn't
Okay.
barking like a maniac. But yeah, I agree with you. For those wondering about the shadow connection here, so Amanda Harris goes off a bridge, but like any typical person would. Um, Now, they kind of make her Harry Vincent here a bit. I don't know if you've ever read The Shadow, but
I
Harry
haven't.
Harry Vincent was a agent of the Shadow who was recruited by the Shadow when he attempted to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. The Shadow grabbed him by the arm, pulled him up, and he recruited him as his agent. Now, there's no Shadow to save Amanda Harris, but there is Death, but he's a little late to the party, if you will. And so they kill her by having her jump off a bridge. I sort of wish they wouldn't have did this with her, because it's like, okay, if her portrait isn't destroyed, like if how does she die?
They might not have been thinking that one through.
That is true. That is a good baby. But I do like the character, other than every woman. Even Angelique wants to marry Quentin. It's like, really, girl? Really? Really? It's like, have you seen the bodies lately just dropping around this dude? Um, I gotta give Laura Parker a lot of credit. She goes, "Marry me, Quentin. Marry me." I'm like, aren't you already married? Is your divorce sink even dry after all these years? What did you think of her wanting to marry Quentin?
That was a shock to me because, she's always going after Barnabas.
Yep.
So I didn't mind it, but it seemed a little off.
I always thought this was a jealousy tactic. I'm going to make Barnabas jealous tactic, but it's like clearly, clearly, when you see Barnabas isn't giving a damn at all, like at all. Uh, this is one of the funniest things. Like it's like, okay, she's gonna now want this guy to marry, and this is what causes Beth to shoot Quentin. By the way, this little affair here. No, not all the other affairs. This one. Don't know why this specific one, because it's an agreed upon marriage, which Beth isn't happy with. Uh, by the way, yes. What did you think of Beth Chavez?
I liked her.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she'd had a better end,
Yes.
though. But yeah, I liked her for the most part. I do feel like I she should have had a little more agency toward the end of the 1897 flashback.
Do you? Okay, so there's a lot of theories going on around the ghost of Quentin. So here's a question for you: Was it the ghost of Quentin?
It's a tough one, especially with the timeline being negated.
Yes, it is. There's no wrong answer. I swear, I'm not tripping you up.
I I I guess I'd have to say I think it was, but
There you go. It's really strange too. I agree with you because it's like, okay, they wall up Trask. It's like, okay, Trask, did he have an ability? I guess he cured Jameson of being possessed by Quentin. It's like, okay, what's up with this Trask, dude? And why the hell is there another Trask anyway? I love me some Jerry Lacey. By the way, the original Trask looked exactly like Solomon Kane. Yes, Jerry Lacey missed opportunity playing Solomon Kane. Absolutely, go watch that movie too. It's really good. Uh,
okay.
But yeah, he does a really good job playing this evil, another evil religious entity, if you will, who owns a school. Who the hell gives their children to a trask? Like, are these? What are you smoking? Seriously, uh, I asked that in jest. Uh, Speaking of, and this Trask has a family. We have Nancy
Hmm.
Barrett playing a Trask. What did you think about that?
I mean, we never hear about the original Reverend Trask even remotely having a family, so it's kind of like, where did this guy come from? Um, he's such a, I mean, by comparison, the original Trask is almost like a fluffy bunny compared to Gregory Trask because he is a just a dog.
Yeah, he is. And speaking of Tim Shaw,
Poor guy.
turning on his friend Rachel Drummond dying, which is going to lead to Kitty Soames, if you will, who's going to be the reincarnation of Josette. Uh, there's a lot of characters in 1897. I mean, a lot,
Mm.
way more than 1795. Um, but yeah, by the way, Parker, what did you think of Evan Hanley, the lawyer?
He was fun.
Yes,
And he
yes,
was, I mean, so was Nicholas Blair.
yes.
But this guy, I mean, Nicholas made his mistakes. And of course, that was his undoing. But this guy makes mistakes left and right. And it was just funny seeing everything he did, especially with the thing with the hand. And then
Absolutely.
getting blackmailed into helping Trask get rid of Minerva.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Minerva. Poor Clarice Blackburn. Her characters in the past keep getting killed off. Abigail, Minerva Trask. I mean, even in 1995, Mrs.
Hmm.
Johnson bites the dust. Mrs. Johnson gets killed in 1995. Oh my God,
Yeah, she
what's the
still
world?
blinks.
Yeah, yeah. No, no more boiled dinners for anybody. Isn't that sad? That's sad, sort of. Uh, oh my gosh. So, little fun fact here, Jonathan. Yes, I love you too, Rockstar. I love you too. But yes, yes, yes. Oh, there. Yes, Jonathan Frid has to leave the show for a bit. He has to go do Dial M for murder. So they're gonna kill his character off, if you will, and pull this. Which, by the way, they explain this because Angelique does this little trick
So
with.
that's why he left the show for a while.
Yes,
Okay, I did
yes.
not know that.
Okay, so yeah, for those who don't know, Jonathan had to leave the show. He had to go do a stage play of Dial M for murder. Um, it didn't last too long, so he comes back, and but while they do that, they stake him. They do this little chroma key trick. If I butchered the word, it's okay. I do that often. So as I explained at the beginning of this show, uh, Angelique performs a little spell with Laura to fool Laura to get her to burn her alive and as a fake sacrifice, if you will, to piss off the. Are you going? Are you want? Yeah, okay. You get. Okay. My dog does not want me anymore. Okay, but I wouldn't either. Her mother's on the way. So. Yeah, they do. So they explain it that way that Angelique's does this again, only this time with Barnabas to make everybody think they killed it, Barnabas off. They got the vampire, if you will. And Jonathan Frid's going to come back as Barnabas as a mortal, a regular old mortal. What did you think of that decision? What did you think of it?
I thought that was clever. I did know about him being, you know, staked in it not being him. I didn't know how they were going to do that because that was
Mhm.
something I'd heard from the Dark Shaft's companion as well. But I didn't know about the reason why he left for that like month or however long. Uh, but it was nice to have that suspense of when is he going to come back, and what exact, how are they going to explain that? So.
Yeah, yeah. It's really cool too how they pull this off. It's a very cool trick. You So 1897 is in a lot of ways your first official Angelique babyface turn. She's turning into a good guy, if you will. Yes, I use wrestling terminologies on here. Everybody knows this. So she is turning babyface a bit. What did you think of that?
I thought that was really cool because we hadn't got to see that before, and I think it added more layers to her character.
Yeah, I agree with you. She she turns full babyface in 1840. Uh, and yes, she gets killed off. Spoiler alert. Every woman Barnabas touches dies. And it's his damn fault, too. It's his fault.
Hmm.
Nobody else's. Um, except for Maggie Evans. Ah. So, oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Sorry, I'm trying to think here. So, Patofe, our buddy Patofe gets his hand back. He causes all sorts of chaos. He wants to get rid of the gypsies. We're introduced to a King Johnny Romano, and there is literally a war between the gypsies and Patofe. There's a battle, definitely, and they are preventing him from getting to the future. The gypsies, if you will, they've got some powers of their own. They're no. It seems to be a stalemate between these two forces. What did you think of that?
I thought it was really cool.
Yep.
That was a really cool thing to throw in there. Uh, since it's been so long since I've seen the whole storyline, I don't remember. I seem to remember, doesn't King Johnny get him, and he's about to drop the scimitar down on the hand, and then something stops him, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, he gets. I think he gets killed by Aristide. Now I could be wrong about. I know he gets killed by
Yeah.
somebody, Aristide, I believe. And if I'm wrong, please correct me. Anybody correct me. So, but I think I'm right on that. Uh, Pretty sure. So, by the way, Aristide's gonna skedaddle when he sees mortal Barnabas arrive, and he like, "You're alive, you're alive." He pulls his inner Shaggy and Scooby Doo and hightails it the hell out of here quickly. By the way, because he thinks Barnabas has come back from the dead, um, so, which I like. And by this time, Patofe has switched bodies with Quentin, which is really what a mind what a mind fuck. Uh, it is, but it's such a cool one. What did you think of the body switching between Patofe and Quentin?
That was definitely something different.
Yeah,
In some ways, I'm kind of surprised they didn't try something with that somewhere in the show before. But yeah, that was a nice little change they'd made.
the
Uh,
only
yeah.
sorry if I
No, no,
cut you
you're
off.
fine.
Um, the only real hint we get that Patofe does this is when he kisses Jameson. He
Oh
becomes
yeah,
Jameson, but that's not really like to me. Like the whole Quentin thing is like a whole literally out of body. Like
yeah, it is.
he's meditating for Jameson for Quentin. No, he is Quentin now. It's like it's not he ain't trying to go back into his other body at all. Which is just like, yeah, this is some cool shit. Is,
I, you can almost see it as like a dress rehearsal in some way. I'd
mm,
forgotten about that a little bit.
yeah, a
Hmm.
bit. Yeah, I agree. And because before Edward becomes the monster hunter, he kind of gets made into a maid too. He gets made into a servant. Yes, Edward. Edward is serving people. Uh, it's like, okay.
That was his Joshua Cat moment.
Yes, yeah. That was his, yeah. You're a descendant of the Collins family. You're getting punished somehow. This is how. You know you're not going to get cursed. No, you're going to get made into a servant. Um, Joshua got made into a cat, though Ben Stokes wanted him made into a donkey, or as he puts it, a jackass. Yes. Uh, no, I'm not making that up either. So I'm trying to think if oh yeah, how can I forget about Carl? Uh, so Carl Collins, the professional jokester of the family, gets killed by our buddy Barnabas. This is actually when Quentin and Barnabas really begin. Quentin realizes Barnabas has been the one helping him. So this is where they really, to me, form a full-on alliance for good. I mean, they do form a bit of an alliance with against Laura, but it's Angelique who ultimately does the deed. Here, the death of Carl is Barnabas does it, but Quentin gets an assist for helping. What did you think of that?
It was unfortunate to see John Carlin's character go because Carl, but I mean, he'd been gone for quite a while, for several weeks,
Yeah,
before popping back up with Pansy. Um, but I mean, we get to see John Carlin just go wild in classic John Carlin fashion, where we're gonna get cousin Barnabas tonight,
tonight.
and
That's right.
then
Uh,
his brother just ultimately turns on him.
Good old Quentin. Uh, Jesus Christ. What's family for, right? Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think if there's anything I missed in here. I'm sure I did somewhere. Let's see. Hit. Oh, was it Pansy or Letitia Faye? Yeah, one of the psychics. But the thing of it is, they make Nancy Barrett's character the psychic. She
Mhm.
becomes Pansy Faye and starts having all that dream stuff and vision stuff. Um, by the way, yes, Quentin. This is we talked about the body switch. That's how Beth dies. Beth's death is the result of she thinks when she sees Quentin that it's still Patofe. And so
Mhm.
she jumps. This is how many people, and I don't totally disagree, is why Beth's story of it being Quentin's ghost is a bit inaccurate because she feels it's Quentin's ghost because, well, she thought Quentin was still Patofe. Well, Patofe was still Quentin. So she jumps off Widow's Hill. Yes, Widow's Hill claimed another woman. Uh, what did you think of Beth's death?
That disappointed me. I wish they'd come up with something better for her. Like maybe she just left Collinwood ultimately. I hated seeing her go so tragically, especially when her original tragedy gets changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't care for her ending.
My
I'm so
buddy,
sorry.
that's okay. My buddy Patrick McCray mentioned this to me, so I'll mention this to you. So Beth, right? Jameson has a daughter, Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Beth, Elizabeth. Just a little fun there. So yeah.
Hmm.
Um, because Jameson did like Beth. So
Huh. I never
little.
thought of that before.
I didn't either until he
That's
met.
cool. That's cool.
I did not either until Patrick McCray mentioned that to me. I'm like, that's awesome. That's fucking awesome. Um, I
Hmm.
literally think I think I mentioned everything.
New headcanon moment.
I think. Uh, is there anything you want to add personally about this?
Um, Nothing I can think of. This is my favorite flashback
Mhm.
storyline is 1897.
Yeah, it's
Even
really
more so than 1795.
there. Yeah, 1897 is a journey. It's a long, long journey, but it's a great journey. I agree with
Hmm.
you. Um, I'm gonna have to bring you back. When can you come back?
Uh, Pretty much any time.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't conflict with like work schedule and everything, which should be fine for the most part because I only work days. But yeah.
Okay. How it's Sunday? How is next Sunday? And you and I will talk 1995. We'll talk about Mrs. Johnson's blinking eye death. Uh, so, which is actually my favorite story arc because it begins the Judah Zachary arc,
Hmm.
actually, which is a lot of fun. So, how's next Sunday for you, sir?
Oh, that's fine. I can come back next Sunday.
Go check out. Are you on Facebook?
No, I don't do Facebook.
Okay. You can check E.D Lewis out on Instagram, on Blue Sky. You're on X too, right?
Yeah, but I'm not really active on there anymore.
Okay. Okay. But you can check him out on Blue Sky. You can check him out on Instagram. Uh, Go check him out. He also has a YouTube channel, which I'm going to leave a link to. So go check that out and give this man a subscription. First of all, man, thank you for giving me your time and coming on here and having some fun with me.
Oh,
Yeah,
what happened here?
I don't know. I think it cut out.
There we go. Okay. Thank you for inviting me. It was a lot
Of
of fun.
course. Of course. I love inviting fans. It's a lot of fun to discuss Dark Shadows and all the craziness that went on into this world, right? So, all right, man. You have a good night. Take care.
You as well.
Bye bye.